All right, everyone. I'm about to go on a pretty big silver spending spree and spend, between 3 to 5 million of the silver that I have. And before I did, I wanted to make a video here on how I actually managed to get to the over 10 million silver mark. And if you guys have been keeping up with my videos, this number has actually gone up pretty darn quickly. It's really been the last couple of weeks that I've actually managed to build up the majority of the silver. So I wanted to get into the methods here of how I actually pushed past 10 million silver. And let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And the first thing here is, very importantly, something that I actually started to do a couple of weeks ago, which has really propelled my silver income, and that is your low ping dailies on your alts. And I want to emphasize, I do them on my alts and not on my main character. So if you go to the Una's tasks, I actually have the 3 that I do on my alts favorited right here, and that is the special delivery for Arthetine, Vern, and Shoeshire. Now, I already have a video on the channel where I actually go into the routine of how you actually do your low paying dailies, but it's really fast. It's like a 2-minute routine. And once you set it up on your alts and you set up your Bifrost, it's just another quick little thing that you add to your list of things to do on your alts that really doesn't take very long. So you can see here that this is on my main character. I do not do these on my main character. On my main character, I do Una's tasks that give me leap stones. But an important note is that this number here is going to be lower on the alts that you actually do the low paying dailies on. And the amount of silver that you actually get from these is going to scale based off of your item level and the tier that you're in. So I recommend starting to do low paying dailies once you actually end up getting your alts into tier 2. It doesn't really seem to be worth the silver in tier 1. You can if you want to, but as your item level goes up and as you get into tier 2, it's going to really increase the amount of silver that you get from all of these. So running these on my army of alts here that I have, my 5 alts that are in tier 2 over the last few weeks has really increased my silver income quite a bit. So that's the first one, and that's a really big one. And now let's get into the second one here. And this is one that a lot of people kind of overlook, but it's absolutely massive for your silver income. And that is running your 2 daily chaos dungeons on your alts here. Now, another thing that I do, especially if I'm lazy or if I just want to really be like time efficient, is on my alts a lot of the times, if I'm working on too many other things on my main or I just don't have enough time to play throughout the day, I'll actually save up my rested bonus for my alts and basically get double the loot, but you have to, of course, forfeit 1 day's worth of chaos dungeon runs in order to basically get an extra half a day's worth of loot. So the amount of silver that you end up getting from just doing your 2 daily chaos dungeon runs, though, if you have an army of alts like I do, it's really going to add up. You'll be surprised. Just take a look at it the next time that you actually do your chaos dungeons on your alt, and you'll notice that the number of silver that you have when you start versus when you're actually done with your daily chaos dungeons is going to add up to be quite a bit. So that's a huge chunk of it as well. Now let's move into one that is not as known here. So we have the low ping dailies out of the way. We have the daily chaos dungeon runs out of the way. Let's actually head over to the guild bloodstone vendor here and talk about some of the things that I actually like to buy here that are good for silver. Now, another thing is I do this on all of my alts. So it's not just important to be on a guild in your main character, but also if you have alts, if your main guild is strict with, having alt characters in your guild, still try to find some sort of guild for your alt characters because, just checking into your guild, logging into each of your alt characters, they're all still going to be able to end up checking in here. I wouldn't probably recommend the gold or the honor donation on your alts, but still, they can do all this regular guild type stuff, collect those bloodstones, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that your alts can end up buying here. Now, one thing that I buy that's roster bound is these silver chests. I have so many of these bloodstones on my alt characters. I don't buy these on my main character, by the way. Don't use the bloodstones on your main to end up buying these silver chests because it's a roster bound item, so you can use the bloodstones that you have on one of your alt characters, which are not going to be as valuable as the bloodstones on your main character, to buy these. It's going to hit the limit anyway because it's roster bound. Get a little bit of extra silver right there once per week. The higher your guild level is, the more of these that you're going to be able to buy, but also the entrance tickets here as well. This is going to be a nice chunk of silver. You're either going to end up getting a ticket for Cube, a ticket for the boss rush, or a lot of the times you're not going to get either of those, and these are just going to give you a decent chunk of silver as well. Now, keep in mind, these are character bounds. The silver chests here, these ones are account bound. These ones are character bound. So every single one of your characters can end up buying these. And I always buy the one that my alts are in whatever tier. So my alts are in tier 2. So I buy the one for Yorn because this gives tier 2 cube tickets and tier 2 boss rush tickets. If I have a bunch of extra bloodstones on my alts, and I feel like I'm earning more bloodstones than I'm spending, I'll also end up buying the lower tier ones for the silver. Obviously, the cube ticket in tier 1 on tier 2 alts is not going to really be that valuable, but it still has a very good chance of giving you silver anyway. And if you have a bunch of extra bloodstones, you know, you could buy that, or you can just buy extra honing materials or whatever. So it really depends, but this is a really nice vendor to get several different items that can actually really help pile up your silver that a lot of people kind of forget about. So that's the third thing on the list. Now, another thing that I want to mention, which is really, really huge and something that a lot of people overlook here, is the Punica main story and doing the side quests when you do the Punica main story. This is a huge amount of silver, and you cannot knowledge transfer Punica on your alt characters. So when you do end up getting your alts to tier 3, if you guys are, you know, getting to that point like I slowly am, you know, this week and next week especially, basically all my alts are going to end up transitioning from tier 2 to tier 3. It's a massive, massive boost to silver. Don't just do the main quests in Punica, do all the side quests as well. It's the one area that I really, really recommend that you actually go out of your way to do the side quests, because they're really, really fast. And it's going to give you, I think it's something like 1 to 1.5 million silver just by doing the side quests in Punica, which only take a few extra minutes if you do them on the same route that you end up doing the main quest. So absolutely massive. Now, something else that I will say, if you're looking to end up saving your silver, if you're looking to collect it in order to hone your gear or to reroll gems or whatever you end up needing silver for, what you can do is, instead of actually buying something that'll help save silver on your main character as well as some alts, is what you can do is, instead of actually buying the, let's see, if we go to this general merchant here, the Awakening Shards from this merchant here, they're 250 silver each. This can end up piling up to be a pretty good amount of silver on your main character and alts. You can end up buying these for gold on the market instead. It's really kind of up to you. It's really a question that you have to ask yourself is, what do you need more? Do you need more gold? Do you need more silver? Because right now, especially with gold being deflated in value, you can always end up getting 10 of these. So 10 of these is 250 silver each, so 2,500 silver worth of Awakening Shards for 1 gold instead. Again, it's really up to you, but if you're looking to save some silver, it's a little recommendation I'll throw in there. And then the one thing that I want to end off this video on, telling you guys not to do, and let's actually head over to this vendor here so I can show you guys, and I've seen a lot of people do this, especially big streamers. Really don't recommend trading in your gold for silver chests. And you can do this at this vendor right here, but I don't really recommend it, because the ratio that the game actually gives you for trading in your gold to silver is not that great. It's a 100 to 1 ratio. So 1 gold is going to end up giving you 100 silver, which really honestly just isn't worth it. You could see that this chest, it costs 100 gold and it's going to give you 10,000 silver. This chest costs 1,000 gold and it's going to give you 100,000 silver. I really would focus on trying to do all the other stuff that I talked about in this video first. This is like the absolute emergency, and especially with gold being so valuable right now, with, you know, prices going down, like the ratios that the game gives you by doing this are just not really that great. So this is the absolute last resort here. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm going to be going on a spending spree very soon here, so expect this number to go down a decent bit over the coming days and coming videos. So I wanted to kind of put this out there before I go on this big spending spree, and it's a surprise. I don't want to say exactly what it is, but you know, video about that will be out soon as well. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped out. If it did, consider leaving a quick like, consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this in the future, and feel free to check out the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/salt, where I'll be streaming Lost Ark as well as other games. Thanks again, everyone. Take care, and until next time.